That's live. And tonight's going to be a little interesting. I got some things to announce. We got a good topic. We're talking about your relationships, and a lot of times the bad stuff we kind of want to blame people, but sometimes it's really about us. So when you come in, I want you to share and invite with your friends and family. This is going to be a very good show, very good information, and we just going to have a little bit of fun with it. I want you to give me about 30 seconds so that I can make sure that everything is going where it's supposed to go. And then on the other side of that, we're going to get it in. So stay tuned.
Okay, everybody wants good love, that's true, I know. Derrick Jones about to break it down with the relationship gumbo. Welcome to the podcast. Ain't no doubt we all need this, ayy, cause better relationships need better ingredients, ayy. So if you want better relations, it's about communication, finding love, staying together. We all wanna make it better, yeah. Derrick Jones the host, your relationship coach. Thank you all for tuning in. Relationship gumbo, ayy.
All right, we're back. Once again, I want you to share and invite. And I'm glad you're here. Tonight, we got I'm not going to keep you long tonight, but it's definitely going to be informational as usual. And what I normally do at this portion of the show, I kind of let you know what I got going on. And at the end of the normal last slide, I got a little announcement. I've been working on some things, guys. I told you. So hold on for a second, and I'm just going to run through these initial ones first, and I'm going to make my announcement. So stand by. So every Wednesday, we're here at 8 p.m., just where you are right now. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So we're simulcasting there at the same time every Wednesday. So make sure you keep coming back. We have some great guests on the way over the next few weeks. So please keep coming back. You can always go to relationshipgumbo.info to see what's coming up and everything that I got going on, so you can stay plugged in. Next thing is, you're watching us on video, but we also on audio podcast, so you can listen to me in the car. You can listen to the broadcast, while you're chilling with your feet up on the couch, and get it in. We got, I believe, 57 episodes that you can binge and listen to and get caught up. So we are just going to keep going, and we're literally everywhere. You still go to relationshipgumbo.info to get connected with that, but we're literally on like your Fire Stick, any Alexa devices, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeart, everywhere. So wherever you choose to listen, I am there. So the next thing we get here, and this is going to kind of somewhat segue into the announcement, but I do one-on-one virtual coaching. If you have specific things that you want to work on some goals to get to a better you or a better relationship, I can help you plot that out and map out those things that you need to work on so you can get to healing and get into better, making better decisions. So make sure you check that out if that's your need. I have you on that one as well. And also, we have merch. We have apparel, t-shirts, hoodies. I'm going to add in some other things probably within the next couple of weeks, like coffee mugs and things like that. But we got a little bit of everything. Once again, you go to that one website and you can get to everything that you need to get to. Everything is positive. Just find something that fits your mood. And I'm going to switch it back to me real quick. So as if that's not enough, there's more. So just to preface this, and we're going to get into the podcast portion in a minute because I know that's why y'all came. But I've been working really, really diligently on trying to figure out, and a lot of people who know me, they know I'm like the classic overthinker. I'm always thinking about what works best for you guys, for my audience, for my followers. I want to make sure that your interaction with me is as easy as possible, informational as possible, and that you leave with something that you can either use for yourself or share with your friends and family, whether that's through the coaching or anything else that I do. So it's something that I've been obsessing over for a long time. And those of you who have been rocking with me for a little while, I've been kind of hinting at building an online course. And I wanted to do an online course for you guys so that you guys will have something to refer back to. And for some strange reason, it just never really got off. So what ended up happening was, after I thought about it, and I'm thinking about you guys, right? And a lot of you guys come back every week. A lot of you are new first timers. And I thought about it a lot, and I was like, online course, topic for that course, you pay for it one time and then you drop it. And what I've learned about myself as I've evolved, with you guys' help, I am a classic person that likes to teach like a professor. But through engaging with you guys, I realized that a part of me loves that connectivity that we have, the engagement, the healing, like on the fly. So the online course didn't give me that feel. So what I decided was, what makes a better choice is for me to have something that you guys can have access to me on an ongoing basis. So starting on Monday morning at 8 a.m., I'm going to be on Patreon, guys. So we are going to have a subscription-based service by where you pay a small fee every month, and you will get this thing right here, and you'll be able to tap into different types of things that I'm gonna offer. So I'm gonna put up another slide, and I'm gonna show you what these tiers look like, because I want you guys to be able to really understand the power in this. So hold on one second, and I'm gonna speak to this next slide. So on Patreon, when we launch, we're gonna have 2 tiers, and those of you who are a little old school, the names of the tiers will make sense to you. So the first one, the lowest tier, is called the Just Kicking It patron, and those people will come in at $10 a month. And so I thought about these prices, and I was like, a lot of people don't get coaching because of the entry fee, or the hourly rate, and I still offer that if you want more specific coaching. But this is a way for you to come in at a small cost and still get a whole lot of the material and the meat and potatoes of what I have to offer, and the thought processes and the education and the training that I have. You'll be able to ask me questions. So like on this first tier for $10, and you think about where you waste $10 every month, right? This tier, and I say, and when I was doing this, I was like, it's like having a coach in your pocket. So the weekly membership, you're going to get every week, you're going to get a live stream about a topic, and you guys will help cultivate this stuff as we grow. And I'll cater the topic specifically to your needs. But you'll have, you're on a live right now for the podcast. You're going to get a separate live just for you guys on topics that you care about, that are more catered to you healing and trying to figure it out. Now, we're not going to talk about, if you come on and your name is Debbie and you want to talk about your childhood, your specific childhood, you're going to have to go to the hourly rate section. This is going to be information that's going to be about topics that you really, really, really need in order for you to start looking at healing. And sometimes that healing means you may have to bump up to the hourly sessions to get more specific, but you're going to get a lot of meat and potatoes here, guys. Also, every week I'm going to be available for a Q&A session. You can ask whatever you want, and I will do my best to give you an answer on a specific scenario that you give me, and let you kind of understand like what's really going on in your dating life, in your relationship life. What, not everything, right? I don't want to know, why your kid got an F in math, but we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about communication topics, all of the things where people make left turns when they should have turned right. You can ask all those questions. You're also going to get a discount on the merch. You're going to get 15% off of the merch. As long as you're a subscriber, you get that 15% off forever. So that's the first tier. The second tier, the people that are kind of a little more serious about their healing, is called I Want to Be Down patron. So you're going to pay $20 a month. You're going to get everything that the first tier gets, but you're also going to be able to get discounts on the hourly rates, right? These are the people that know that they need a little bit more help. You're going to get 20% off the hourly rate. You're also going to get either a digital PDF or a video catered to your tier, this specific tier, because this tier is going to get a little bit more in depth. You're going to get some digital printouts that you can print out to help you do some exercises, or it will give you tips on things that you need to do based on the things that you guys care about the most. You're also going to get a 15 to 30 minute session that talks about one topic and one topic only. We're not going to coach you and try to heal and get you to your goal, but I will talk to you about a topic. If your topic is, I want to know why somebody did this on this date, I got you. That comes with the thing, right? But we're not going to talk about your whole life story. That's what the hour-long conversation is. So this is something that I'm offering because I know that if you're on this second tier, that you're really serious about trying to figure it out, right? So I want to offer that. Let me flip myself back up. I want to offer that because this allows me, because people always, when people talk about what you love doing and this is your passion and this is your purpose and do something that you would do for free, I literally would do this for free, but there's this thing called time, right? We don't have an unlimited amount of it. So if I'm going to give my time and my expertise, I need a little something. So that's the way how you can get value for your buck without you going broke. Okay, I told you it took a lot of time and cultivating to get this. So on Monday, you will come in, whatever tier you come in, and there's already gonna be stuff waiting on you. I'm working on all that stuff. Like, y'all don't understand. I want you guys to have the absolute best experience, and I want it to be something that you've never seen before. I always talk about getting under the hood and getting to the white meat. Let's get to the white meat so you guys don't have to continue making those same traffic accidents that you keep making. I want to make sure that you start to heal from that stuff. So come back on Monday and become a patron, and let's get it in, because it's really about connectivity. Instead of you buying a course and dropping it, you get to have engagement with me and the other people that are patrons on an ongoing basis. So think about that. Think about it. We going live on Monday. So stay tuned, stay connected, and that thing is going to be amazing. I got some surprises for y'all. And things that we're going to do and things that I'm going to add on as we go. Like, I have a big vision for this. So we're going to get that in. And I really, really appreciate you guys if you come and support that and really come in and ask those questions. So without further ado, for what you came here for real, the podcast portion. So if you're here for the first time, the way that this works is we do an audio podcast that goes up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and those type of things, and it's just audio. So what I normally do is I pause for 3 seconds, then I do the podcast portion, and then I'll pause another 3 seconds at the end, and then we'll get out of here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get it in and we're gonna get out, and hopefully you guys will share and invite, and let's get it. So stand by. And welcome to another episode of the Relationship Gumbo Podcast. My name is Derek Jones, and I am your host. I'm a certified life coach, an engineer, a strategist, and a mental health advocate. And tonight, I am solo, guys. Again, I know I have a lot of guests, but when I'm solo, I go in. So let's do it. Tonight, the topic is good or bad. Your relationship is a reflection of you. And I picked that title on purpose because I knew that there would be people that understand it. And I also knew that there would be some people that kind of raise an eyebrow like, me, I've been being treated like crap for 5 years. I don't know if I'm the reason, right? So we're going to talk about why you feel like that, because there's a reason. So let's talk about a good relationship, right? Or at least as good as we can perceive it to be, right? Because we know a lot of times we see something that looks good, it's really not good on the inside. But let's pretend that it's a good relationship. That good relationship has 2 parties in it. And hopefully both people have learned over time or through each other how to communicate, how to kind of tread a little lightly, in certain conversations or communication, even in the argument, knowing how to kind of ping pong off of each other and know each other's strengths and weaknesses and all that good stuff, right? Because you learned over time and you've applied those things that you've learned, and now you've kind of implemented that, and your relationship looks and feels good, and it's healthy. And that's a reflection of the work that you've done to get to that point to be able to make that relationship work. The other party, the other person, your mate, they're doing the same thing. So it works, right? They're doing in their own way. It's working, right? And that's a reflection on your ability to recognize, someone that's supposed to be with you. Then you taking the time to learn them. It's a reflection on your ability to do that, right? But here's what y'all really want to hear about. The bad relationship. We're talking about trauma. We're talking about toxicity. We're talking about dysfunction. And we sit in it. And what we do as humans, whether we do it consciously or subconsciously, we all want to be the superhero in the story. We don't want to be the villain. We're not the villain. People, when they get out of relationships, they normally, somebody say, well, what happened? Oh, it was their fault. Oh, they did this to me and I had to leave. And nobody really knows what really happened, but that's the story you want to tell. Because you don't want to look like you the person that caused all the problems, right? So if I'm the hero in my story, does that mean I'm absolved of responsibility for what happened? I need you to catch that. Just because I'm the hero in my mind, does that mean that I get away clean with responsibility for what happened? So let's dig a little deeper. So let's say that you're in a toxic relationship and your significant other, hey, let's do this. Let's say your significant other's name is Billy. The return of Billy, guys. If you don't know who Billy is, you're going to have to go back a few episodes and run through these things. Let's say your partner's name is Billy. Billy treats you like crap. And it's been 3 years. Billy's always treated you like crap. He doesn't really communicate with you well. Kind of belittles you a little bit sometimes. Don't really pay attention to you. Make you feel like you're less than a human. And it's 3 years. Billy's a bad person, right? Horrible. Treats you like crap. You're a victim. But where you need to go in your head is, I allowed it. I sat back for 3 years and I settled for feeling like that every day. Billy didn't force you to do that. You did that. And so the thing that I want to stress tonight in these topics that we cover, we always talk about self-love. And we always talk about self-care. But we very rarely talk about self-evaluation. Evaluating your behavior, evaluating how you feel, and understanding that it comes from a place. And if you continue to allow someone to treat you like crap, is it really that person being horrible, or is it you accepting the treatment? Now, we can say maybe you came from a place where you were broken and you don't know how to leave and you're not strong enough to leave. If you're not strong enough to leave and you had some things that were in your past that's broken, that has nothing to do with Billy. I'm going to say my famous statement. That's a you problem. That means even when you leave Billy, you're still that person. That's a you problem. And people don't like to hear that. Doesn't mean Billy gets off the hook. But if Billy gonna be bad, he's gonna be bad. What are you gonna do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because this little thing that we hang on to because we're so emotionally charged. It's one word that we hang on to for dear life when we're in these relationships. Hope. You hang on to hope for dear life. I hope Billy's going to change. I hope he'll be the person that I met on the first date again. I hope. that things will get better. And 2 more years go by and they didn't. I hope things will be better than they were. Billy didn't change. And guess who else didn't change? You. I'm going to say it again. That's a you problem. It sucks to think about it that way, but it's true. Now, people can say, once again, and it's going to sound very familiar, but people can say, well, I treated him good and he treated me bad. And yeah, you're factually correct. But did you sit and take it for 10 years? And now you wondering what the hell's going on. You already knew that on year 1. Let's pretend you knew it on year 3. You found out on year 3, Billy sucks. You're in year 10 now. Is that a Billy problem? Or is that a you problem? Think about it. Self-care, self-love, self-evaluation. And that self-evaluation needs to happen when you're in a relationship. And when you decide to leave, you need to do it again because you don't want to repeat history. We don't do it, but we need to. Because who wants to keep making it a you problem over and over and over again? Because like I've said on other shows, I've said on my show, if you are making habitual mistakes, you cannot blame it on bad people. You can't. Because evil, bad people are a constant in society. They just exist. Maybe there's something happened in their childhood. Maybe they, whatever. They here. And guess what? We get fooled by them. We meet them. We fall in love with them. And then there's that moment where you're like, oh, that didn't feel right. I hope that doesn't happen again. I hope that person gets better. Because I ain't like, he did it again. Another one. Oh, no. He been doing this for 2 years. That's a you problem. Well, I wanted to say it, but he's not a good communicator. And I'm going to say it. I sound like a broken record tonight. That's a you problem. Right? Do you think about it like this? Let's say you're a woman and you met a guy. And when you met him, he had all these qualities that you like. But he was a horrible communicator. Didn't really look out for your best interest, but everything else was cool. So he was like, might as well. Because I hope those other things will change. I can work with him. 2 years later, when you find out he's a bad communicator, he didn't change. That's a you problem. These are all things that you can find out. Communication skills. You can find that out early. We don't want to. Because we all in our feelings. I like him. Oh, he feel good. Oh, that hug. Oh, that hug is amazing. Can I get another one? Then boom. I'm in a situationship. How'd I get here? Oh, I can't leave. That's a you problem. When y'all go to bed tonight and y'all close your eyes, all y'all gonna hear is, that's a you problem. Let me get to some of these comments. Michelle Ford said, not Billy. Yeah, Billy's I think he's gonna be a reoccurring character because he don't go anywhere. He's always around. Jesse Love says, I allowed it over and over, been there. And Jesse also says, nah, I don't go years, months was too long. Exactly. Let's let's really, really, really keep it real. A lot of the stuff where we could have kind of veered away from, we saw it early. There's some cases where you don't know what's going to happen, but a lot of times we see it and we ignore it and blah, blah, blah. So if you saw the red flag and you ignored it, it may be because, whatever is going on in your head, in your heart or whatever. But when you do the accounting and you chose to ignore it, a bad person gonna be bad. If you choose the bad person, is it their fault or yours? So let me go to some of these other comments. Effective marketing and networking says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. J. Cole, effective marketing says, do people not change? And can people really learn to be better communicators? So to answer your question, people can change. We're all people who are capable of changing. And your second question is, can people really learn to be better communicators? So here's my blanket statement for that, right? And this is what I have to tell my clients and people that I coach all the time. Everyone can be helped, but you have to be willing to take direction to get the help. If you're not a willing participant in the healing and the solving of the problem, then no, that person will not be a better communicator ever. But if you're willing to, as I like to say, get over yourself and know that you need to change, then there's redemption on the other end. The problem is that we get into relationships with these people that show no signs of wanting to change. And we hold on to hope, hoping that they'll change, but the behavior is still the same. If you say, I'm in love, we're in love, head over heels in love. We got the feels. I would walk through fire for this person. That's my baby. And then your baby says, you hurt my feelings today and I don't like the way you communicate. And then the other person says, okay, I'm going to need you to get over that. They're not willing to change because they didn't even look at the fact that you over there crying and hurting. It didn't force them to say, well, that person said they don't like the way I communicate. How can we compromise and figure out how this doesn't happen again? If that person isn't constantly trying to figure out like why are we doing, then it might be an uphill battle. Might need to get a third party to come in and say, hey guys, look, this go left this time, go right. This is y'all don't see this, but this is what it is. That's why I do what I do. It's sometimes it's hard to see when you're in it. And like I said, if the person is willing to try to work on it, then there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But how many people you know that are in super dysfunctional relationships that, and I'm saying on a large scale, people that are in dysfunctional relationships, most of the time they be in their own head. And remember I told you at the top of the show, everybody want to be the superhero. So even the person that's doing the bad don't feel like they're the villain. Those of you that are, and I talked about this on a long time ago on the show, those people who are into like reading comics, a lot of times the villain is thinking they're doing a good thing. They may blow up some stuff and kill some folks, but they think they're killing those folks for a greater cause. The person that's hurting you all the time, it's so ingrained in them that they'll say, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry number 4,000. At some point, there has to be some growth. And if there is no growth, if there is no compromise, what's the definition of love? Do they really love you? Like, You know how it says in the little Hallmark cards and stuff. Like, is that like, at what point seeing your partner in pain doesn't even faze you? And I know I'm gut punching some folks right now, but this is just how it is. And I'm human. Sometimes we be in our own little whatever, and sometimes it takes an event or something to kind of check us. But if you never, and I repeat, never try or want to change, even in the midst of your partner being hurt, who are you? Now, you could say, I'm not attached to them and I'm not in love with them and that's why I don't care. That's cool. But that other person think y'all in a relationship. So I don't know what, So I'll never say people, again, just to wrap that point up, I'll never say people are not able to ever turn it around. But you got to be a willing participant to do that. And you take people that are like narcissists and people like that, good luck. It could happen. But how many years are you going to wait for that hope to kick in? 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 15? Are you just going to settle for being miserable? It sucks. A lot of us make that decision. I've made that decision before. I might as well just sit in it. At least I know what's coming. Stick with the devil you know. Don't want to see if anything else works because this is what I'm used to. That's a you problem. It's hard for us to hear it, but it's a you problem. If you complain about being miserable, but you choose to stay in a miserable situation and have the other person not care that you're hurt, you're making a conscious decision to feel like that every day with that person. I don't care if you've been together for 10 years or 5 years. You're accepting pain from a person that don't give a damn that they dishing it out. And you cool with that. But here's the human factor. Once you in love and you have emotions and attachment tied up, everything I'm saying tonight really don't mean, excuse my language, don't mean shit to you. Because you in love. Who am I to tell you to go find happiness? I'm just a dude on the show. But at some point, you're going to be sitting at home crying, talking, I hope things get better in 2 years. And most of my audience, we not 20. How many more years you willing to do that? You're going to be walking around somewhere with a walker talking about, I'm still waiting. Funny, not funny. That's probably the best I can do with that. It's tough. I've made that decision before too, just to sit in it and deal with it. Because here's the thing, right? Because I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer. Here's the thing. This is what you got to realize. Not necessarily when you're in a relationship, but when you're at a point where you're kind of nurturing one and trying to become something. When you have the honeymoon stage, when you have those moments where it's just pure bliss and it felt good and you went on vacation and it was amazing and the sex is amazing and everything is just these moments. We make those moments, and let's quantify it. Let's say those good moments are 20% of your relationship and the other 80 is hell. That 20 means way more to you than the 80. That's why you stay. Because you hope that 20 will at least grow to 40. If it grows to 40, then I'll be all right. But this 20, it's just that 20% of good. It's hurting my heart. But it felt so good. I don't want to lose that 20. So I gotta stay. That 20 means everything. That 20 gives you hope. 20% 10 years in. I don't know. You know how people always say the good outweighs the bad? No, the bad outweighs the everything. And that's a you problem. We talk about battered, people and domestic violence and all of that, right? It's egregious and I hate it. I'm disgusted by it. It's hard to leave. People are threatening to kill you and all of that, right? But if you go back in time, there's something. And we got those emotions. And we let that 20% override everything. And we gotta take accountability for what we let come in our path, what we let come in our heart. That's why the healing is important when you leave these relationships. Because who in their right mind wants to get into 2 more relationships later and still be devastated each time? And think about this. Every time you leave a relationship unhealed and you get into another one, it takes a part of your soul out. It takes a part of your character out. And you still smiling and trying to say you good. You're not the same. You're not the same anymore. You're broken. Literally broken. And broken people find enablers. They find other broken people. They bond each other's traumas. And you go through that 20% as a broken person and it feels amazing. That other 80 to a broken person, why I care about that? I got 20. I was at 0 before I met this person. It's important for you to evaluate and realize that you need to make better decisions. And if you don't know how, then you need to seek help. This is grown-up Derek talking. This is not 25-year-old Derek talking, because 25 wouldn't even listen to this conversation. I'm trying to deliver it to you in a way that sticks, so that not just you, but you may see someone that you know and you be like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a you problem. And then maybe that person can hear that and say, okay, I need this. I can't keep doing this. But if we don't reach out and try to help each other and try to see what's going on, it's a lot of misery out here. A lot. And you guys have seen it. See it online every day. See it in person every day. And you're like, if only they communicated better, their relationship would work. If only this would happen. There's these little things that become big things. And then you have to say, well, if I let my husband curse me out every time we argue and it hurts, and I never tell him that it hurts, if I'm a man and I feel emasculated 4 days out of 5, but I got to shut up, that's a you problem. And you're going to have to figure out how to communicate better. You're going to have to figure out how to let your partner that you love know how you feel. And if you say, well, they don't care how I feel, you're deciding to be with that person that doesn't care how you feel. I need you to hear that. Hard pill to swallow. It's a big watermelon-sized pill to swallow. You are in a relationship with someone who doesn't give a damn about how you feel, and you're cool with that. For life. So to these, Michelle says that 20 is going to dwindle down. Exactly. That 20% of honeymoon phase and all these little good little moments. And you got to think about it like this. And a slight tangent, right? Think about it like this. When you're broken down in a relationship, and the other person knows that they hurt you, but they didn't change, but they're attached to you so they don't want you to leave, they're going to throw some honeymoon-like things in the middle so that you can shut up. So it gives you the guise that 20 became 30. But did their behavior really change? Or did they just buy you a new pair of shoes or take you out on a vacation and come back and they the same person? And humans make mistakes. We all do. But when you never try to do better and be better, who are you? That's a life lesson. Forget relationships. You got to think about evaluating your behavior and what you're willing to deal with. And you got to make sometimes some hard decisions on how to maintain your peace and happiness. But if you choose to stay, as I close, does a bad person have to change? Or do you have to make smarter decisions? That's it. And that's all. So I'm going to need y'all to let that sizzle in your spirit a little bit. Let it marinate. You need somebody to hear this conversation. Share and invite this with them. Tell them listen to the whole thing. The audio will probably be up maybe by Friday. So stay on the lookout for that so you can listen to it and re-listen to it if you need to. And make sure that you go to relationshipgumbo.info. The Patreon info is going to be there on Monday. Patreon. You guys want a coach in the pocket? I got you on that. You got to support that Patreon. Come in, and we're going to be doing stuff literally every week. The podcast is just a piece. The rest of it is just like, you got to think about this. You guys come and hear the podcast. You like it. You love it, right? The podcast is like if you had a steak dinner with mashed potatoes and like some broccoli. The podcast is like one block broccoli floret on the plate. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. So please stay tuned. I got some stuff coming. And when you go in there and you subscribe to that Patreon, I'm going to give you my all. I'm going to make sure that you guys really get what you need to get. If you like tonight's show, listen to all the other ones and then come in and say, I want more, but I want more stuff that's catered to the things I want to hear about. And then you get in there and you inbox me and say, hey, Derek, I need to hear about ghosting. I need to hear about whatever, and I'll make it happen. That's what I do. So on that note, I'm going to end the podcast portion. Thank you guys for coming and have a great night. All right, we're off the podcast portion. Jesse says the spirit of scarcity thinking traps folks to stay in relationships too. Yeah, it's so many things. But as you guys, maybe you don't notice, a lot of these topics, I'll start with like the topic and then the rest of it just comes from in here. Like I be feeling this stuff because I want y'all to understand that it's not like you're not the only one that feels like this. You're not the only one that been through this, but there's redemption for you. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just gotta want it bad enough. I've been there. If you didn't know, here's the cheat code. Here's the secret. I'm about 58 episodes in. There's not one episode that I don't have a personal story about. And we're not even done. So if I have a personal story that's that deep, there's a lot of people out here that have similar stories. There's a lot of people out here that have similar pain, similar, joys and happiness and peace. And there's just little things that we all can share to get us course corrected. Because who wants to be, who wants to continue following the same dysfunctional path when you have a choice? You got access to information now. You got people on a damn live stream on your phone that you could be sitting in your bed listening to, telling you, hey man, wake up. It's a you problem. So I want you guys to leave here tonight knowing that you can always choose to do better. You can always choose you. And be good to each other. And you have the choice to make a decision to leave if you need to. It ain't easy. Trust me. Domestic violence and all these kind of things aside, just emotionally detaching from someone is not easy. But you got to think about your future. We live in today, but we don't live in what does life look like for me a year from now if I keep doing this. It's not an easy decision, but it's a healthy decision to make. For you, if you have kids, then you really got some things to think about. So, hit me up. Go to the website. The Patreon is coming next week. I tried to make the pricing affordable so that you can come and get the meat and potatoes. You're going to get live streams. You're going to get Q&A sessions like you've never seen before. So bring all your questions. We talk about anything. It's going to be real relaxed and we're going to have fun. I'm going to get to know you. Y'all going to get to know each other. And it's going to be a community. Like I'm trying to build a community and an ecosystem where people feel comfortable. It's a couple of cups at Starbucks. Like you can do this. And like I said, I thought about it long and hard about the price of admission and why, some people don't seek help is because they'll say it costs too much. So I'm not telling you that you're going to go into Patreon and get your whole life. Like I said before, you're going to get your whole life solved. But these little questions, these little pieces that you be thinking like, what does this mean? And why did he do this? Or why did she do that? Like this ain't just for women, this for men too. Come in there and get communication. We going deep on communication topics. I'm gonna probably start doing some boot camps on different things where you're gonna really get this stuff and you're gonna get some PDF files and all kind of stuff. Like I got a whole vision. We about to get it in. So when you come in on Monday, if you win, you choose to subscribe to the Patreon, there's going to be content waiting for you. You don't even have to wait for it to start. It's going to already be there. So please support that. And I will see you next week. Same time, same place. So on that note, we're out of here. Enjoy your night.
Okay, everybody wants good love, that's true, I know. Derrick Jones about to break it down with the relationship gumbo. Welcome to the podcast. Ain't no doubt we all need this, cause better relationships need better ingredients, So if you want better relations, it's about communication, finding love, staying together. We all wanna make it better, yeah. Derrick Jones the host, your relationship